Explorando Polk con Marta y Teresa. Y bienvenidos otra vez a Explorando Polk. Y esta vez vamos a explorar sobre salud, bienestar en Polk, nutrición, empezando el nuevo año, nuevo nosotros.
Pero Tere, tú sabes que yo no sé de ti, pero de mí te puedo decir que todos los años yo digo, voy a comenzar a comer bien, voy a ponerme de dieta, voy a ser muy buena con mi comida y
a comer y a beber, porque todos lo hacemos. Eso
2 semanas
todos lo hacemos y lo dejamos. Así que vamos a aprender de Andrea, que habla un poquito de español, porque fue mi estudiante.
Bueno, vamos a ver qué buena maestra. Tú fuiste con Andrea, veremos a ver.
Pero Andrea es muy inteligente. Bienvenida, Andrea.
Bienvenida. Each year we make promises to make healthier choices. So we were talking about. So we thought, what better way to start off the new year than with a little knowledge, a little bit more knowledge about healthy eating and choices. Joining us in studio, we have some special guests from Polk County programs. Our first guest is Andrea Nicolai, UF-IFAS Family and Consumer Science Agent, I want to say secret agent, who is also a registered dietitian nutritionist. Andrea, welcome to our show. And what can you share with us about what you do?
Thank you. So yeah, like you
Spanish? Gracias.
Gracias.
Yeah, there
I
you
know.
go.
This is a test.
Okay. Thank you guys. So I work with the University of Florida Extension. I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent, like you said, and registered dietitian. And I love talking about food. And so today I was thinking, since you guys are talking about the new year, new you, I was thinking we could talk a little bit about the nutrition label, which sounds boring, but we're going to make it fun. And just a little bit about what to eat for the new year, if that's okay.
Fabuloso.
Espero que ella traiga comida de verdad.
Un poco de hambre.
I hope you bring real food.
I know, I thought I would, but sorry. Okay, so when you look at a nutrition label, what's the first thing that you should always look at?
Calories.
Before that, even.
The portion.
Yes. Okay.
Yo soy muy inteligente.
So it's important because one label is based on the serving size. So the serving size is what the label is based on. So just for Christmas, I got one of those boxes where you get all the candy. It would have been fun if but I ate them. They were chocolate covered almonds. And so I was looking at the back. I was like, oh, I wonder how many calories and stuff, right? So I looked at just the calories because they stick out. They're pretty big. It says 150. I was like, that's not too bad for the, but then I looked at, it says serving size, 8 pieces, and there's 4 servings in this container. Who splits it with 4 people? So that's why it's good to look at the serving size, because if you eat the whole thing, then you have to multiply 150 times 4. Does that make sense?
Sí.
Tere, ¿tú miras a la cantidad que tú debes de comer?
Sí, yo lo miro.
¿O solamente las calorías?
A cada rato, pero casi siempre lo que miro es las calorías. I look at the calories. And that's right. Once in a while, I'm intelligent enough to look at, okay, what is the portion that what is the portion that corresponds to the calories?
That corresponds. Your doctor might say, can you please reduce like your salt intake, your sodium? And you're like, okay. So then you look at the label and you're like 160. You're like, that sounds great. You're like, how do I know if that's good or bad? And so what you can do is one thing that's really helpful. It's called the 20 and the 5 rule. So it's like 20% on this side here is considered high or excellent source, and then 5% is considered low. So that's like of your daily value. So that's how you can kind of look at these numbers, and you'll know that if you see like calcium is 20%, you know that you can say that this is high in calcium, whatever this is. And then if you look at the saturated fat, you're like 5%, you're like, well, it's pretty low in saturated fat. So just if you know 5 and 20, that can help.
5 and 20.
Yeah, so 20 is high, 5 is low.
No, sí, porque yo siempre trato de mirar la etiqueta y entender lo que estoy comiendo, porque como sabes estoy un poco gordita, un poquito nada más.
I have never heard of the 5 and 20, ever. I look at the serving size, after I eat it.
Yeah, you're
And
like,
then I
"Oh."
look at the calories, but I've never heard of that 5 and 20.
It just can be helpful if you're looking
That's
for like some of those
great.
things. So like, you think you're supposed to get more fiber or less fiber?
Where's the fiber?
That's right. It's small. Do you think
No, you're
fiber is
right.
good?
4 gramos.
Do you like fiber or
But
try to get less?
It's 14%.
It's not that I like fiber. I really don't like fiber, but it's important that we eat fiber.
Yes.
So
Fiber is really good. So that's one thing you'd want to look for, the 20% if you can. That can really help you because fiber, it moves the bad stuff through you.
So,
Helps you glow.
Clarification, when you're saying the 20%, because this is, esto es muy importante.
muy importante.
This is very important. And this is really going to be helpful for all people. Are you looking at the percentages, not at the
Numbers.
grams or anything like that?
Right, because
Okay.
sometimes it's hard to know, like 12 grams, you're like, I don't know if that's
Okay.
good or, it's hard to remember if that's good or bad.
So
So
here
then
we
you
have-
can look at that to tell.
here we have the nutrition facts. Okay, la nutrición y vemos sodium. We see sodium 160 milligram, 7%.
Yeah.
It's not 5, it's not 20. Is it good to eat this if the doctor told us not to eat sodium?
So I
it
would
okay?
say, it's pretty close to 5, so that's pretty good. And that's kind of how you can tell. So like looking at these, then if I needed iron, that 45, like that is awesome. And sometimes like you might remember looking at juices in the store or something and you're like, it says like an excellent source of vitamin C or something like that. By law, then it has to be at least 20% of your vitamin C.
Eso muy
And that's like
interesante.
whenever they say like, sometimes soups will say low in sodium or, then you can
They
look at the
check.
back, it's 5% or less. So it's kind of cool. It actually corresponds with a law thing.
Esto es muy bueno para nuestra gente.
Muy
de saber.
bueno
then
para
you can-
nuestra salud, para
Sí,
nuestro bienestar. Y yo lo que quiero saber es qué comida nos trajo. I want to know what food you brought for us today.
Oh, yeah, it's delicious.
Oh, well, it's delicious.
I was just going to show just some things that are interesting just about, when you're having your servings at your house. So this would be like one.
Don't make me feel bad, okay?
So you can have multiple servings every day of different things, but I just wanted to show because it's interesting, like if you take Cheerios and you put them in different bowls, it just, like you might end up pouring more, like if you use a bigger bowl. So I just wanted to point that out. And one of the ones that always gets me is ice cream, because sometimes you go to those restaurants and they'll have like that big container and you fill your own, like with the soft serve.
yeah, I
So
know.
then they always give you like containers like this, and it looks so stupid if you just take that much, but if you put it in a bowl like this, you're like, that's pretty good,
If I have a smaller plate to fill,
can help.
it's better than having those, now these dinner plates are massive. Son bien grandes los platos de
And
cena.
portion control is key, right?
It can help a lot because that, we want to eat real food and we want to enjoy our food, and everything can fit, but it can be good if we just start small, see how you feel, right? But it used to be the 9-inch plate is what we're supposed to kind of base it on. But it's funny, even the
Oh,
disposable
how funny
plates
that I even said that.
like have gotten bigger. So like, if you have spaghetti, like so you're like this, but on there you're like, I'm definitely putting more on there. So
Tenemos que comer
tú ves,
esos
kind of
pequeños,
interesting.
Tú
platos
ves, baño,
pequeños.
platos pequeños.
so it's interesting.
Tapas.
So what do you say? Nuevo inches? I don't know.
9 pulgadas.
Nueve. So that's what you can measure yours at home. Like
You
this
failed
is a
as a
10,
teacher.
and so just seeing what yours are could be kind of fun. So that's why I brought those, just to kind of show the different things.
Is it true, Andrea, that we can eat just about anything as long as we control the portions?
Yes, and it could be good to eat more of certain things. So yeah, that can really help. And that's like definitely, food is so important in like our lives and our cultures and things like that. So it's not that you want to take away, but if you can add in things, that can really help. So sometimes like adding in fruits and vegetables, or like if you're having a meal or you're having beans, cutting up like onions and bell peppers and tomatoes and adding those in there can be really good.
So,
like adding.
I have a question. With the new year starting and everybody wanting to lose weight and go on a diet, us too. There's so much out there that is so confusing. Mediterranean diet. You have, I don't know, you probably can, you're a nutritionist, so you could say them like right off the tip of your tongue. What does one person do to select a diet, I guess, or a way of eating, however you want to call it?
That's, it's so individual too. But one thing that I find as a dietitian is just really nice that, a lot of those patterns that are proven, they all kind of have the same base. They all say, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, eat whole grains, snack on some nuts and seeds, maybe instead of granola bars or like chips. And then choose things like beans and lean proteins. And they all kind of come back to that. It's like the basis, but then they take different spins on them. But those are the foundation things that
some of them are very expensive too to join. Estaba diciendo que cuando uno entra al nuevo año quiere rebajar o comer mejor, hay tantas diferentes dietas que uno se confunde, no sabe qué seleccionar, pero la contestación de ella o la respuesta de ella es comer básico, comer saludable.
Yo pienso que la mejor dieta es comer las cosas que Dios nos ha dado, las cosas naturales, no tener que buscar mucho esta información, not to look for this information. Well, look for this information if you're going to buy this type of product. But if we stick with the natural, if we stick with the outer side of the grocery store where you have the vegetables, the fruits, the meats.
I've heard that before.
Yes. The thing is to
don't
stick
go
to
inside. No te metas adentro, quédate afuera, Well, this has been so interesting and so informative. This is what I love, that we get to learn new things. And I hate when we have to come to the end of our show, but you brought us some, I'm not going to say they're tasty food, but anyway, you brought us some samples. And what a great way to do the label. So we appreciate what you shared with us today. So
thank you.
And above all, is control de la porción, portion control, right?
Yeah.
And just stick to the natural food.
Right, and filling your plate with half fruits and vegetables can be really key too. So I just wanted to bring some examples of how you could have like a full plate, just trying to fill a lot of it with fruits and vegetables, make like some delicious meals. Sometimes having more than one fruit and vegetable can help, because otherwise, you're just filling it with a lot of vegetables. So, but that could be an example of how you would do that. So just trying to get some other things in there. There's that one. Then I have one more.
It's good.
Kind of just some ideas.
Doesn't look like my portions, but it's good. So anyway.
Pues ya está, comer saludable. Muchísimas gracias, Andrea, por estar en el programa.
Thank you,
Andrea.
Gracias.
Well, that's all the time that we have with Andrea. And Andrea, thank you so much for joining us and sharing such informative information about nutrition.
Thanks for having me.
Muchas gracias.
Adiós.
Adiós. Bueno, Tere, aquí estamos con nuestra segunda invitada.
Sí, señora.
Tenemos una persona sumamente interesante, otro tópico muy fabuloso.
Que es fortalecer nuestros huesos. Después de hablar de nutrición, cómo mantener los músculos, los huesos, es muy importante.
Es muy importante.
Sobre todo para nosotros las hispanas, que nos gusta comer tanto y no nos gusta hacer ejercicio. Vamos a aprender sobre hacer ejercicio.
Vamos a hacer eso. Voy a presentar nuestra invitada.
Okay.
The median of age of Polk County's population is about 40 years old. That means half of our residents are older than 40. Eso incluye a nosotras. Science tells us that after age 35, muscle mass and strength begins to decline. While it's not such a big deal for those young whippersnappers, that's not us, who haven't been alive half of a century, but it is vital for those of us who are considered experienced.
Sí, con mucha experiencia.
Mucha experiencia. Our next guest is Carol Dillings, who volunteers and leads one of the Bone Builders groups in Frostproof. Bone Builders is based on an exercise and education program developed by scientists at the Tufts University in Boston, Massachusetts, to reduce the risk of osteoporosis in men and women. Welcome, Carol. That's a lot of heavy stuff there for you. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So to begin, tell us, how did you get involved with Bone Builders, and what is Bone Builders?
I was just telling Michelle that when I started with Bone Builders, it was because someone from the church that I went to got up and spoke and wanted to get a group started there in Frostproof. At that time, I had no idea at all what Bone Builders was. But I liked this girl a whole lot, and I thought, okay, she's asking for volunteers to go to the class. So I went. And it took me a while to get into it. She did most of the leading, and then after a while, I got into it. And then she went back up to New York State for a while, which is where she had first seen Bone Builders. And there were several that still wanted the program going, so I said yes, I would lead it. And so this group has been going since 2019.
Tell us why bone building is so important.
Falls are one of the greatest problems with older people. Our balance gets off for one reason or other. We lose our strength. And falling and fracturing something is very, very expensive to the Medicare system. And it's not just financial dollars to Medicare system, it's also the whole loss that is placed on that person that breaks something, on their family that has to help take care of them, get them through this. So this whole program is meant to work on balance and bone strength so that we decrease the amount of falls that people have and the fractures that come from them.
So many people don't realize that right after 30, when we feel that we're young, strong, but we stop building muscles, we stop building bone density, and it is very important to place interest in going to the gym, doing exercise. I have been diagnosed with osteoporosis. Any woman my age is going to be diagnosed, and the doctor said it is very, very important that you start lifting weights, going to the gym, and a class like this is just so important.
It is important, and it's not, this class is not just the balance and the muscle and the bone. It's a whole socialization because it's geared towards senior citizens, the more experienced,
I like that
the ones that have lived life
better
a little
than vintage.
longer.
I guess after 50, you even though you start losing all this after 30, but once you get to be 50, 55, you really need to, and have you done it? I haven't, Martha has. You
Done
exercise.
what?
Exercise.
Oh,
You
yes.
exercise.
Oh,
Exercise.
absolutely.
And you know, it's too bad that in our whole world now that we have to go to gyms, that we have to take these classes, that we have to do these things. But we have so many conveniences that we don't do all of the things that our mothers, our grandmothers used to do. You used to have to reach up to the clothesline to pin up your clothes. No, now we throw them in the dryer. Before you could even get them to that point to dry them, the washing them was a real chore. Yes, you were scrubbing, you were doing all kinds. Now we have so many conveniences that gyms and classes like this, Bone Builders, are really needed.
So can you show us how to do some of this?
Okay, I'm going to watch you first. And then
Okay. In the class, I'm always telling the participants about working on their core. All of this here. You want to keep this strong. You want to walk straight. You want to keep your shoulders back. And I will tell them, your feet have been in the same place for, in the class that I'm at, a good many people are, I would say 75, 85. I have a 94-year-old in the class. But I'll say your feet have been in the same place for years. You don't need to look down at your feet when you're walking. You're looking ahead. And they'll say, but I want to make sure I don't trip over something. I said, if you're looking ahead, you can see if there is an object there or not. So work on the core. And when we're sitting in the chair, and I'll tell people, you pretend there's no back on that chair. You sit up straight. And somebody in the class will kind of slouch back, and then somebody else will say, no, 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 you have to sit up straight. So, okay, we'll do one of the exercises here. And the whole premise of this is to do things slowly. Anybody can take their leg and do this, and back and forth and back and forth, and that's not doing much for you. But when you stand here and you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and you feel that in your muscle,
Right
do you?
here,
Yes.
right here.
5, 6, 7, 8. Now step up with the other leg.
Why?
Because it gives you a rest. You've taken some pressure off of this hip here.
Okay.
And we start out doing 6 of each of the exercises and work up to 12. So now, if you thought that hurt just doing the first one, now you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8, step. Okay?
And this is for balance, para el balance.
This will work for balance, and you're also building, because you feel that in the muscles, you're also building muscle there.
And it's something that we can do at home.
Yes, yes. And we also,
And with the right shoes.
Right.
yes, we tell people wear sneakers.
You're
Yes,
not supposed to
yes.
exercise in your shoes.
You want to keep all of this in line. You don't want to tip. But you're going to take your leg out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 5,
Ooh, that
6,
hurt.
7, 8.
Parece
Step.
fácil, pero no lo es.
Eso no fue fácil para mí.
And when you're doing these, you want your toe always to be pointed straight ahead. So when you're going out to the side one, you want it out here. You
Oh.
don't want your foot to turn out.
I was turning it out.
And sometimes,
Aprender.
especially with some of the older ones, the ones that are up there 70s and 80s, the hip is a problem and they just turn out. But you want to try to keep it going straight out, and you're going slowly.
Thank God for
And
the
you're
chair.
keeping all of this straight here.
Con todo lo joven que yo soy, eso es difícil.
I had a gentleman
Yo no
in
sé
the
de
class.
esto,
I had a gentleman in the class that he didn't join it for a long time because he thought, oh, this is just a bunch of sissy stuff doing this. He found some of these, because you're doing them slowly, very difficult.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So the key is to do it slowly.
Slowly, slowly. And you do
Bien
12 of them
despacio.
in succession, and you've had a workout. We also do some work with some weights, where there's one that's called Hug a Tree, and you would have the weights in your hands, and you're standing up. Arms are up here, okay? And you're 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. So now you're back around the tree here. And you do this with these weights, and the program says to start out with half-pound weights. Most of the participants in my class are doing 2 and 3 pounds of weights. And these get a little difficult holding this weight
And
out
the feet.
here. And your feet, you're still standing,
You're still straight.
still standing. And if this becomes difficult, these can be modified, any of these exercises. If this is difficult standing and doing something with the weights out here, you can sit in the chair and do it with the weights out. I have one lady, a 94-year-old, that can't do these leg things standing. So she will sit in the chair, and when our leg's going out to the side, while she's sitting, her leg is out to the side, because we don't have arms on our chairs. We also work on, I'm going to sit for this one, work with the weights. We're working on our wrists, because people, when they fall, if you're falling forward, you want to put your arms out, broken wrists. And I have seen this. I was an emergency room nurse, so a lot of the things that we're trying to prevent in this class, unfortunately, I saw them in the emergency room.
Then you're the perfect instructor.
Okay, so you would have the weights in your hands, and you're bending
2 pounds, 3 pounds, 1 pound.
whatever you've worked up to. The program suggests that you start with half pound and work up. Now, some people, when they come in the program, they can already do 2 pounds.
Yeah.
They've been pretty active, and you really want to start the program before you've gotten to the point where you're so frail that it's difficult to even get into the building to start doing the class.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you would have your weights in your hands, and you're going to stretch your back out, and your wrists are going to be right here at your knees. So you've got the weights in your hands, and you're stretched out, and you're looking someplace out here. You can't look straight up because then you've hyperextended your neck. And we want everything to be in a straight line. So the weights are in your hands, and you're going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, you would do 12 of those. Then I'll say, okay, sit up straight, take a few deep breaths, and we're going to do it the other way. So now it's palms down.
It has the same effect for the
You're
wrist.
building different muscles
Okay.
when you're doing this.
Okay.
Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Y otra vez, this is to strengthen
the wrist.
la muñeca, porque cuando nos caemos hacemos así y nos rompemos la muñeca. We
So hay que
fracture the
fortalecer
wrist.
esto.
Así que
I
es
play
muy
pickleball,
importante.
so this would be a perfect one for pickleball, right? See?
Very good. Very good.
See.
I have not tried that one. I look at that game and I think that is an ankle breaker. But I guess if you do bone builders first.
There you go. Promoting
Before you
both builders.
start
Well, Carol, I can't express my gratitude so much with everything you've taught us. And I know we've only done a couple of exercises, but I know you have a bunch more that we're going to post of where they could go and take these classes with you. But thank you so much for sharing this for us so that we can share it with our people. Yeah.
Nuestras amigas, hacer los ejercicios. Ahora que sabemos nutrición, sabemos cómo leer las etiquetas y mantenerlos en bajas calorías, ejercicio, para tener un mejor 2026.
So no nos vamos a dar de baja de nada de esto, ¿verdad que no?
Vamos
a seguir adelante.
Vamos a seguir adelante,
Ok,
vamos
perfecto.
a hacer ejercicios y comer bien.
Pues gracias, Carol. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.
Y estamos explorando a Polk con Teresa.
Y Marta, nos vemos en la próxima.
Adiós.